Yo, what the hell's up? Welcome back to Reviews with Jake, where I just got done watching some movies. My apologies for the raspy voice. It wouldn't be a December movie marathon video if I wasn't just a little bit sick. As promised, I took advantage of a December that didn't really have, at least in my opinion, a lot of intriguing titles coming out, mostly all of which done on a Saturday that I shockingly didn't really have much on the docket. So I barricaded myself in the basement and knocked out a few titles, none of which were very festive and of the holiday season, but I am hell-bent on twisting my thoughts on each as such. First up is Caught Stealing, which honestly looked more like a Christmas movie than it did a Darren Aronofsky film. But it had some really good flowing dialogue with a little bit of wit and humor, which was very unexpected coming from a director like this, but honestly, it really worked. It also had some very solid visual storytelling where it just let the props, scenery, and scenarios that are familiar to the viewer do the talking instead of said great dialogue. Both of which are executed very well by the entire ensemble, especially that of Austin Butler. Honestly, I haven't seen too much of his despite his growing popularity, but this was honestly the most relatable performance that he's turned in, at least from what I've seen so far. From a production standpoint, a few things stood out to me, especially the score. I really love that urban punk rock feel that this movie had. It gave it a little bit of juice and octane that really kept the blood flowing throughout the course of the film. Kind of reminded me of that of like a Spider-Verse film. I also really appreciated some of the drone work here. Not that there was a lot of it in this particular film, but when they happened, from a drone pilot's perspective, some of the vast, wides, and intricate movements and keyhole precision, I just gotta take my hat off to it. All in all, this wasn't an amazing film, but I did enjoy the ride. It was the best ride I've seen around the holidays involving thievery since the one the Grinch did down Mount Crumpet. Next up is Nobody 2, the sequel that no one was asking for that I'm aware of, despite the fact that the first film was actually pretty cool. The plot from the first film isn't really anything to write home about, certainly nothing to build and expand upon, but yet this film takes that nothingness and continues to do nothing with it. There is nothing remotely interesting about this film's story or the characters, especially the antagonist played by Sharon Stone and Colin Hanks, who were kinda terrible. They were that of cartoons. That said, despite this being an incredibly flawed film, I did enjoy the action sequences in it. The fight choreography hits hard, the camera movements are wild, there's some awesome needle drops in there, and some of the production design makes for some fantastic fight locales for some of these throwdowns to occur in. Would I argue for more from this franchise? I mean, if Bob Odenkirk can keep up the physicality it takes to make these movies and they continue to be a nice lean 90-minute runtime, sure, why not? They sort of set up a nice template to continue cranking out these little side quests that this movie felt like, and if they can keep the quality going, sure, why not? It's the tale as old as time. You got a guy who works his ass off to provide for his family just so he can have a special memory-filled holiday getaway with his family. If that doesn't scream Christmas, I don't know what does. Finally, we have Jurassic World Rebirth. Another popcorn film that I really wasn't looking forward to and had super low expectations for due to the recent track record from this franchise, but dinos. I mean, who could argue that? Remember what I said about Nobody 2, that the characters and story were just god-awful? This somehow managed to top it on the throne of laughable. I mean, this movie just has so much inconsequential shit that happens between actually pretty decent dino sequences, and everything in between is just god-awful. The film requires an immense amount of suspension of disbelief. I get it, a movie has to movie, but some of the things that characters do, and dino logic, and physics, my god, the physics of this movie are just laughable so often. Nothing about the plot or the human stuff is remotely interesting, compelling, funny, intriguing, none of it, which is just really depressing. I mean, this franchise really feels like it's floundering. Beyond a scene or two of decent dino action, this movie brought nothing to the table, and I should be thanking them because of its relatively recent release. Dinosaur toys are all over the shelves for the holidays, and my nephew is really into dinosaurs right now. Should be a match made in heaven, except for it's all these whack-ass hybrid dinosaurs. Who wants that? The formula feels pretty damn simple. The first 3 Jurassic Park movies had classic dinosaurs, and for the most part, they work. Then Jurassic World comes out and introduces one hybrid, the Indominus Rex or whatever, and that one kind of worked, but mostly in the end. Spoiler alert for that film. But all of the classic dinosaurs team up to beat the hell out of that one, and I thought that that was a good cathartic way to nip the hybrids in the butt, but unfortunately all we get are these damn hybrids anymore. I was really hoping that this Rebirth was gonna bring this franchise back on track, but they keep getting further and further from the mark. I think they need something brighter than Rudolph's red nose to guide this sleigh back tonight. Does that one work? I think it does. If you don't think so, well, this movie didn't give me shit to work with. Give me a break. But that's just me. What do you think? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with new reviews. Coming real soon. Have a great Christmas. Stay safe. Thanks for checking in.